Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Rangers Radio. This pre-match show, Rangers at home to Hibernian. Round 34 of the SPL season. It's been done since Christmas, I think. Join myself, Oxchair, on the panel. It's my mate, Bridge. Afternoon, Bridge.
Oh, good afternoon, Oxchair. How are you? Hope you're great.
Good, mate.
And big good afternoon to the rest of the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Big game today. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I believe you've got the team, Bridge.
I have indeed. The team today is McGregor, Patterson, Goldson, Helander, Barisic. Kamara, Davis, Aribo, Roof, Kent and Morelos. Substitutes: McLaughlin, Bassey, Simpson, Hadji, Eaton, Zungu, Stewart, Arfield and Wright. I'm just going to turn that phone off.
Yes, some people would argue that's the strongest team we've got available to us, mate.
I wouldn't argue with that. It's particularly that sort of midfield. It's really strong. It really is. And the only obviously is what do you call him? Arfield and you've got Ryan Jack missing out of that midfield. That's to be honest with you. But I think I'm really happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's your show, and it's what you think of the team and how you think the game's going to go. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, I think it's a 4-3-3 with Ruth playing in that position on the right. Obviously Kent doing what Kent does, Alfie through the middle. Aribo, I would imagine, on the right side of that, try to join in. Kamara doing the same, and Bill quarterback just sitting there and strutting his stuff for Mr. Davis. Bridge?
I like that term, the quarterback. That's brilliant. I just love it. Brilliant.
That's
yes, you're right.
He's the brains of your team, isn't he? Whatever like
oh, most assuredly. He's top man. That's the truth. Top man.
You know, so he's in there, and I would expect if things go well, the substitutes to play a part as well, mate.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, like we know what we're like. That manager, he could do what he wants. He could just, if you know what I mean, he could actually just use that team for the whole game today. Because it's going to be, but I think he's going to have to use the substitutes and that's all there is to it, because it's going to be tough. But if they strike a chord today, if the Rangers team strike a chord, it's going to be a real tough decision to pull somebody out and put somebody back in. But it needs must.
I think modern football, in particular this year, mate, with 5 substitutes, you've got to use a minimum of 3 for me. A minimum.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, legs, sports science, people have form, all comes into play, but I think you've got to try and use the minimum of 3. Potentially, if you can get away with it, you use the 5 if you can, yeah?
Yeah, 100%, Paul. Definitely. For me, I want to use everybody that's available to us, providing they're good enough quality-wise to stick into that team. Get them on the park as soon as possible. It's obviously after half-time, So 60, 70 minutes, start thinking about it and take advantage of whatever's going for us, most assuredly. I think it's going to be a tough game, as it always has been against them. Sometimes it turns out to be a very good, tough game for us, but other times it's really, really up to the wire. We scored some late goals and some fantastic goals. Tavernier always seemed to come up with a really good goal against them, or a great assist, He liked playing against them, that's for sure.
Well, he started off his career well against them. I don't know if he's been so prolific since, but this season we've had a 2-each draw and 2-1-0 wins for Rangers. Obviously, Morelos and Hadji get the goals. It was a big goal when Morelos scored through there. We celebrated that because we knew we were getting closer.
Oh yeah. My memory gets vivid when it comes to some of the goals and the chances that man scored. Tavernier scored against them Ibrox when we were in the championship at the time, and he scored an absolute belter for the left wing, right into the top corner. unbelievable stuff. You know, the whole place just absolutely went mild. You know, wild. So I think I loved having her playing against them. It's a pity he's not in the park for us anyway. But you know, young lad's playing well. He's got it'll be a big game for him because apparently he's up against one of these really good up and coming stars for Hibs. So it'll be a good match that out in the right wing, our right wing. You know, Doig his name, I think.
Aye, he's getting rare reviews. You know, rare reviews. Obviously, the trouble is, Bridge, if being honest with you, I only see the opposition players against us, so I can't judge anybody really.
No, I can't either. I've only seen the boy 3 times, and that was against the Rangers. I think twice against the Rangers. Sorry, that's the only time I've seen them on the telly. Never seen them with my eyes.
So obviously, Hibs are. I don't know. I suppose they'll be fighting for points to maybe make sure they get third place. But I suppose the cup will be their priority, like us now.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know, because obviously us and them getting out the next round, everybody will be thinking they've got a chance to get a route to the final without playing the Old Firm. That's the truth, isn't it?
That is the truth, Paul. That is the truth.
You know, so give us a team again.
The team is McGregor, Patterson, Goldson, Helander, Barisic, Kamara, Davis and Aribo, Roof, Kent and Morelos. Substitutes, McLaughlin, Bassey, Simpson, Hadji, Itten, Zungu, Stewart, Arfield and Wright. And you know, we were discussing what kind of team could come out here today. We were talking about the boy Wright. Some thought the boy Wright should start. And of course, others said so should Roof. And there he is. Roof's getting the start. I still don't think Arfield's 100% fit. And I mean actual fitness, not match fitness. I think he's still carrying something. But Wright is just, I think he's ready. He's boiling, and he's on the boil, that boy, you know. So with a bit of luck, he gets on quite early. He gets a good chance and maybe half an hour run it there. See if he can repeat his feats of last week. He'll be doing better. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember now. Against Cove. So it'd be really good to see him repeat that. It'd be magic, just magic.
So their team is Marciano, McGinn, Hanlon, Porteous, Doig, Gogic, Irvin, Newell, Dodge, Nisbet, Boyle. Substitutes Macy, McGuinness, Gray, Wright, Stevenson, Cadden, Halberg, McGregor and Laidlaw. Yeah. The boy, Gogic, I think he came from Hamilton. Does a job in midfield. A bit of a destroyer. Can play a bit, Bridge. Hard guy on the pitch. Does no nonsense and just gets about and breaks the play up.
I think he's when he was playing with Hamilton, I rated him. I thought that if we could get something in for us, you know, to move to us on a sort of end of contract thing, you know, I would have taken him because he is quite strong in the midfield. But I've noticed the last two, has it been near Hibs 2 seasons or just the 1 season? I can't remember. But anyway, each time we've played him, he's been absolutely filthy, dirty player. And I thought, I'm glad we never went for him now, you know, because I thought he'd been done a good job for us as a rough tackler, you know, a hard tackler. But my goodness, he's body checks everywhere, just body checks.
Aye. It's the dark arts, Bridge.
That's exactly what it is, yes. I said that. The dark art's a good point.
So come and join us in 0141 356 1972. Give us your thoughts on the team, give us your prediction for the game, and see how you think it's going to go. Let's hear for you. That's a big thing, Bridger.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You know,
this is the biggest game of the season, guys. Please, everybody remember that. Biggest league game of the season, this one. Biggest league game of the season.
I tend not to agree with you, mate.
Well, you know, it depends on what your thoughts are. If we've got a great chance to go to the end of the season undefeated, and every game has got to be treated the same, and this has got to be, to me, this is the biggest game of the season. Now, it's coming up. We've had some great games in the past, but this is our biggest game of the season. Huge challenge.
It depends what your priority is, mate, innit?
Yes, of course, if you want to look at it that way, yeah. But at the present moment, there's nothing we can do about the Scottish Cup. but there's something we can do about the league. So
listen, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful we'll do both, mate.
Of course. I just want to take each game at a time, but you know what I'm like. I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to these things. I hope we get there and stuff them anyway. That's what
I'm hoping we go out and play with a handbrake half and play some decent stuff, Bridge, yeah?
Absolutely. And you know, looking forward, if you can't want to look forward to next week, we don't even know when the game's going to get played or where. You know what I mean? Just nonsense.
Well, we obviously played at Ibrox, but obviously the funeral, you can't blame anybody for a funeral, Bridge, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
I know that.
So the game could be moved to either, say, a 12 o'clock kickoff, or it could end up a 5 o'clock kickoff. Only time will tell, yeah? Or
I think that would be the favourite, actually. I think that would be a favourite for them.
Or it could be moved to the next day at the same time.
Oh, is that not going to cause major problems?
Why?
I don't know. For the TV companies?
I don't know, mate. Don't know. Well, they'll have to sort that out. So
They will indeed.
We'll see where it takes us. Just waiting for some calls.
Hello,
Carl. How you doing?
Oh, fine. Oh, I was just listening about you're raving about Gogic, that your other mate was thinking he used to be a good player. I've always thought he's been a poor man's Scott Brown, actually. Tried to copy him with a haircut and things like that. Never rated him. You know what I mean? Team, it's all right, apart from Kamar Roof. I'm not sure of Kamar Roof yet. I think he's a lot to prove. I mean, we've seen flashes, but consistency is another thing because he's injury problems, you know.
I don't think you're alone, Carl, on that. I mean, I think back for Friday night, I mean, Southside got this team totally wrong, but everybody else was close, but they went for Wright or Hadji in there.
I would have went for Wright, give the boy a chance, you know. Let him have a run, even though I like Hadji, but for subtlety, but against Gogic and things like that, Hadji's no chance, you know. He's going to get bluttered.
I'm sure we'll see Hadji at some point in the day.
Some point in the game. But the other thing, how's the weather up there?
I'll need to pass you to Mr. Bridge for that one. Mr.
Does
Bridge?
know that? But how is it, Bridge?
Carl, it's actually quite nice. It's quite nice.
It's beautiful and sunny down here. I had to be out in the garden this morning to make sure my lilies are up for July, and my first one should be up for us lifting the title. They've got a funny colour, I think, but that mob don't like, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We've got to get them all sorted out, you know. The winter's been long, but here comes the sun, baby. We are the people. I'll give you, my missus says 2-1 for us, and I'm going to be negative. I think we're going to lose today. I've got a funny feeling. You know, it's just one of the feelings you get, and that's how, it only says a couple of points. She wants to hear the rest of the show, so goodbye. I've got to take it off in mute. Bye-bye.
All right, talking about sunshine, we've been joined by our own little ray of sunshine. How we doing, Andy?
Good afternoon, boys.
Andy.
All right, buddy. Dearie me. It's a strong enough team, right enough. I put the gear right a chance, to be honest with you. But, you know, I think he might be, you know, trying to line up what you said there 5 minutes ago about possibly the strongest team we can put out there. And not my mind, not convinced that that's the team, but I get where he's coming from. I'd like to have seen, like I said, the two of them going at each other from each side, with Buff in the middle. But, you know, we'll go with it, see what happens, you know. I mean, he's thinking with Hadji. Is Hadji playing today?
No.
No, right, okay.
He was on the bench. Do your homework before you come on
right,
here.
That's right. That's all right. Hey, listen, the bottles are taking effect now, right enough.
Andy, I'll give you the team, pal. I'll give you the team, Andy.
Go with it. Give me the team.
McGregor, Patterson, Goldson, Helander and Barisic. Kamara, Davis and Aribo. Roof, Kent and Morelos. And substitutes McLaughlin, Bassey, Simpson, Hadji, Eaton, Zungu, Stewart, Arfield and Wright.
Right. Okay, well, a Roof one is probably trying to get more time in his legs for next week, obviously. That's possibly his thinking in that, right enough. So you could look at that. That's not bad, really. They have a strong team. As I said, these will probably come kicking and gouging because they want to they'll be wanting to be the first team to stop Rangers in the league as well, won't they? So it'll be a big game. We've got to be up for this, right up for it straight away, so that we're in the right frame of mind coming up next week. Not that we should have any reason not to be up for next week, right enough. But if we keep it at the right key now and the right attitude going forward, that will hopefully see us through to, remain undefeated in the league, and obviously, the big one there on whenever it's going to be played now. I mean, I heard it was, I don't know how true it is, I heard it was 7:45 on the Friday night. Cool. That was out. I don't know if it was just one of them dummy ones they throw in the Facebook, but
there's been nothing announced yet. I'm sure it'll be done soon, mate, and we'll know shortly.
Yeah. Well, whenever we play them, get into them. Simple as that. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered when we play them, whether it's 12 o'clock at night. Just make sure that we're up for it. We're into them, and we put them to the sword. That's all I'm bothered about in that one. But today's the day. It'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good test for her, because they're tough games. These are no easy games, are they, against them? So
no. Historically, it's one of our biggest games of the season, Andy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I mean, I used to come up for a lot of them when I was younger, and we used to do quite all right. But sometimes we had a bit of a hard time doing it their place, But Ibrox, we didn't do too bad. We could get 2 or 3, 3-0 and 4-0 if I can remember, going back time to But there used to be tough games then back in the day as well, the 3 games in the Scottish Cup game there, where it 0-0, 0-0 and then 3-2, they were quite tasty them games if I can remember rightly, So they always give a game. I always like beating them because of what they are anyway, so it's great for me, it's the mini filth, then filth, let's get it done. No big incentive there for me.
You need to go out with the right attitude. I mean, if we play, we win. Yeah, we both agree, Bridge?
100%. Definitely agree. I think they're that wee guy that they've got as centre half. What's his name again?
He
thinks he's going to run the show in every game he plays now, apparently. So we'll see what happens with him today. Good old Ibrox.
Well, where are they sitting? How many points are they behind? I've no for a while. Remember,
at least they're more than probably about 25, yeah, at least.
Did you hear Jeff Sterling when he talked about the Scottish result yesterday? Results coming through, and he said, "And that league's been done since Christmas."
I think that.
Okay, he said. That's a good statement, by the way. That's a really good statement.
Hibs are 33 points behind us.
33
points. There you go.
We should never need to worry about them. Never.
No, but the problem we've got in Scotland, it's not a case of worry. If you look at the leagues and you look at the points that they're behind the Rangers, it's a problem is they only get up for when they play against the Rangers. If they played like that against the other teams, you might have a more competitive or a more compact league. But it's just when they play the Rangers, isn't it? I mean, that's not just looking through blue tinted glasses. It tells you. You watch some of these teams that play against the Rangers, and you go to yourself, right, okay. Because I'm the same as you, Alex. Unless it's Rangers, I don't bother. As I get older, I should take me a notice of who we're playing. But if it's not Rangers, I can't be bothered. But if you look at it, you go and you say, how the hell did they play like that? And then there's such and such behind. It doesn't add up. Well, it does add up because it's the Rangers. That's the only teams are bothered about. It's annoying, really, because it could be more competitive than what it is. Then it wouldn't be all this keeping about it's nothing, blah blah blah. I mean, back in when we followed them back in the day, the teams were stronger in Scotland. They'd have a goal, But obviously, that is what it is these days, isn't it?
They don't have a go. They don't have a go nowadays.
Leeds, your own team. I think Leeds, your own team, have showed you the way.
That was a fantastic result.
I just want to pull you there, Ox. Leeds is not my team. Not at all.
Your local team, I said.
They're not even my local team. I couldn't care less about them. They don't exist as far as I'm concerned.
So who's your local team then?
Rangers Reserves.
Oh, Rangers Reserves. I love it, pal. I love it.
No, English football's never, ever enthralled me at all. I think it's overinflated now with what it is. Back in the day, I used to watch them. It used to be a match of the day and goals on Sunday or something down here. I couldn't, unless it was Rangers, I couldn't. And back in the day, it was very hard to watch Rangers, like you said the other night there. You only got the 2 programmes up the road there. But I couldn't, I used to say, as young as I can't be bothered with this. this is peak. You know, I mean, just the Rangers for me. Go and fight.
You know, when I was younger,
what I'm saying is, you two can get a room if you want to reminisce. What I'm saying is, Leeds showed you how you can play football against teams that are maybe get bigger resources in you. Anyway, we've been joined by Southside. How are we doing, Southside?
Hi, afternoon, gentlemen. How are yous?
How we doing, mate? All right? Right, how you think?
Look. I'll go for. I think we'll win 2 or 3-0 today, mate. To be honest, I like the look of the team. Just seen it about 10 minutes ago.
Come on, 2 or 3.
3. All right, we'll go for 3.
Okay.
Roof's playing up front. We'll go for 3. I think he'll play a bit of another day.
And you obviously you never predicted the team correct on the show, but I don't think you were far away, were you?
I didn't predict it on the show, no, but I think we had a conversation and I told you that Roof was going to start and the other 10 were correct. Was it no, mate?
I don't seem to find any of them.
It must be your dementia, mate, kicking in a wee bit. I've certainly discussed
it. McLaughlin, he took Golson out of the team. He had Balogun and Hollander playing. He had Bassett left back. He had Arfield, Davis and Kamara, and he had Hadji, Itten and Wright. So he wasn't even close, Bridgeman.
He wasn't even close to the forward line.
Is that not what you said?
Bridgie's at it, you know. I was 100% right. He knows that as well.
I'm laughing because I just think he's giving you a hard time, that's all.
I did say I thought he would play Roof after last week. Comes on, scores 2 goals. I know it's only Cove, but he's wanting to get his fitness up. He knows where the goals is up front. That's what we're looking for the day.
Would you know, do that argument also with Arfield, mate? Or did Aribo never kicked a ball last week? Was Aribo playing last week?
No, but see, when you're looking at sort of, it's probably his strongest team, possibly. Farfield's on for him, obviously. He might have a part to play next week. I think Arfield will come on the day and get some game time. I think Hadji will get game time, and I think Scott Wright will get game time. It'll depend on how the game's going, but I'd like to think by half time we're going to be at least 2 up.
I think it's going to be interesting watching the battle between the two strikers and their 2 main defenders, Porteous and Hanlon, because I used to like Hanlon. I used to think he was a smashing player, but obviously I don't see him. But any time he played against us, he nearly always played quite well. But the boy Porteous, I'm sorry, I don't rate him at all. I never did. But I think up against us, they always seem to come to the fore and the boots flying and goodness knows what all the crap. And I think he's been racially abused. I thought Morelos was racially abused by that boy Porteous, to be honest. But nobody ever said anything about it.
When did this happen? I must have missed it.
No, there was a time when they tackled Alfredo, and Alfredo was down injured, and he came up and he started screaming into his face. Yeah.
Right, okay. No,
think about Easter Road.
I must have missed that one. Right, so you're going for 3-0, Bridge. I've got you doing as a 1-0, yeah?
1-0 for me, pal. I'll do me fine.
Andy, I've got you doing for 6-1. Is that all right?
No, I'm not bothered. I think it'll be 2-0. 2-1.
2-1. Have you got a line on?
No, I'm not bothered at all. Right enough. I've been stung this year. Oh yeah, right. I think I usually break even, like, but I'm well behind. I've gone for some real crazy scores this season. I just know. I mean, they come in twice. It come in twice at Hamilton and the last one there, and he reckoned they didn't put it on right enough. So the 2 times that I thought I'd got it on, he'd not put it on. Said he was too busy. So there you go. I think he's stitching me, don't you? Along with the Bruno one, I think he's stitching me.
I think you need a new runner for the bookies for me. Do you think so?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I obviously didn't do him enough damage the last time I got my own back, like, but it's in my mind. There's still other days, isn't there?
Oh, sorry, you won. Oh, I forgot to put that line on. Oh, you lost.
Honestly, look, I kid you not. That's what he said to me. He doesn't need the money. he doesn't need the money. I know. I tell you, he's loaded as that boy.
That's how.
Aye, probably. Aye. Aye.
Sounds a good bookie to me, Southside, there.
Sounds like you're better getting yourself one of the apps, Andy. Put it on yourself.
Yeah, listen, it takes me all the time to work the phone, never mind working the app. I bounced to that many phones after war trying to sort them out. I'm just about settled now. I can make a phone call, I can read a text, and I can manage to find a Rangers game if you get what I mean. You know, so I'm okay. I'll just stick with that at the moment. That's good for me at my age.
Did you have a bet yesterday on the national then, Andy?
Yes.
Well, again, I felt I put some money on. He never come back to me. But seeing as it's lost, he'll probably be saying, "Right, you owe me money." I'm just waiting for a call.
I get a winner, Bridge.
Did you?
Yes.
Was it Malini something?
Malini time, I think. Yeah. That last.
Well done. How much did you get back for that then? £20 on?
None of your business.
Okay.
Bridge, money goes to money, mate.
Oh, of course it does. See the reserve he's got down there in Oxfordshire. God almighty. Farmers Fields.
Oh, just a poor boy for Partick.
A poor wee laddie for Partick. Aye.
So they usually set up a 3-1-4-2. Are we worried about how they set up Southside if we play?
Nah, we're used to playing against Hibs, aren't we, mate? It's just about us turning up on the day. As I usually say, we'll know in the first 5 to 10 minutes if we're bang on it. And if we're bang on it, we'll know of a problem today. So that's the way I see it. Obviously, the way they play do they play a 4-1? Do they play a 4-1-3-2 or something, does it? Is that the way they normally set up? I think sometimes, but nah, mate, as long as we're on it for the start, mate, we'll batter them a day.
Really confident, mate, yeah?
I'm sorry, mate, my line went there. I don't know if you were talking to me there, mate. Sorry, Evan, it went quiet.
You really confident, mate?
Aye, definitely. I think we'll put in a performance, mate, especially coming up to next week, you know. So I expect a really good performance today.
Bridge, you confident?
Actually, I am. I think we should be able to take care of anyone in this league, to be honest. But I know that Hibs tend to raise their game maybe higher than any other team in the league raises their game against us. I think they build themselves up, and then they cause absolute mayhem at Ibrox. And there's a lot of fighting. There's nearly always a lot of fighting or arguments or whatever during the game. And there's some hefty tackles going. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing our team. How are they going to stack up against Hibs? And if they stack up against Hibs and waltz past them, then we're going to prove that we're a superb team, really and truly. Because this is a rough and tumble game ahead. I believe it'll be a rough and tumble game. It's going to be the same as every other game we play against them.
I'd like to keep a clean sheet, etc. But it's sad. But all the focus is now we're on to next week for me. Sadly, because we're a bit flat. I don't mean as a team because we've hardly played since we won the league. Andy, it's been a bit flat everything since we won the league. Then unforced them out of Europe. Yeah,
I was saying that to Alec and Shuggs there the other day. Like, we got it done. Like, it just seems to, there's like a bit of a flatness there, right enough. But as I said, I genuinely believe pulling them in the hat now should revitalise the Rangers and going forward. Like, I mean, I'm always confident before we play, but you can usually judge how Rangers are going to play in the first 5 or 10 minutes. If we're up for it or we're no. And I think the incentive there, like, is to go out and get a good result, get a good mindset ready for next week. Although we shouldn't be thinking about next week. We'll get a game sorted out a day, and there's no love lost between the two. So, yeah, come on, get the right attitude. Shows that there's plenty to play for here. It could become more special than it is the now. I think a lot of emotion get taken out of winning that league back there, and for lots of other reasons, for lots of different people. And I'm kind of more relaxed about it, but I'll wait again. I mean, we're ready to go again on the 15th of May, no matter what happens, cup final day or no. But it would be nice to finish the last game of the season lifting that, that old trophy. I mean, I've always liked the Scottish Cup. I've been to many, many games going up to the Scottish Cup from here. I used to love it when the Scottish Cup weekend come down. There's something about it. So, if we can get ourselves in the right frame of mind today, ready to go into these, because, where they're talking a wee bit now, I think they're trying to flex their muscles. I think they're on planet Venusa, to be honest with you. But, let's get it right, and get today right.
Amy, all right, thanks for that. Just to give the odds, 1-2, Rangers will win. 72 to draw, 5-1, Hibs win. 3-0, Southside's nap of the day is 10-1. 10-1, get your money on that. We'll be joined by Alex Kay. How we doing, Alex?
Good evening, or good afternoon, I should say. Good evening. How we doing, boys?
All right, mate, your good self.
I'm fine. Is that Andy Havering again there?
Just a bit, mate, just a bit, aye.
Oh, come away with yourself, man. I'll tell you, ask him about his Velcro.
I tell you, once he gets the vodka's going, you can't stop him.
Right, there you go.
What's your thoughts on the team, Alec?
Team looks good. The only positional change I had wrong was I thought Scott Wright might have started today. I thought he might have let him loose after the good display last week against Cove, but all in all, it's a pretty solid team, so looking forward to the match.
There's plus and minuses. Obviously, I think the majority of people gave Scott Wright man in the match, but we'll totally try and get Ruth up to match fitness because we might need him,
Aye, but as you've said, you don't like getting at a start that guy just to give him fitness,
I don't, but I sympathise with the clubs at the moment because they can't play bounce games, but I don't like to see it, mate. There's been times, when Ruth played in Belgium that night, it just looked so far off of pace, it was frightening.
Aye, you're right. I tell you, the wee surprise as well on the bench is Ned Defoe. I thought he played pretty well last week, but you've got Zungu and Stewart still on the bench, so I thought Defoe might have featured there as well.
What does that show you? I think it's time up for Defoe, innit?
Aye, possibly.
As much as we enjoyed him when he's played well for us, some great finishes, you've got to move on. You've got to be sensible for the club. Yeah, unless there's a role for them that we don't see.
Well, it's a wage factor for me, Ox, isn't it? It's reportedly on 30 grand a week. It's a hefty wage just to keep for a bit part player and possibly a coach. I think we should be looking at freeing that up to get to be able to afford first starter, basically.
That makes financial sense. Southside, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Aye, we spoke about it in recent weeks. I think it's wee man's done as a turning on it. Wonderful player, great professional, been great about the dressing room and Ibrox, no doubt, and helped a lot of the young players. But going forward, we've said it, if you're going to play 10 games a season or something, then we need to move on and invest in another player. I think I heard you saying that, Alex. I heard a lot of people during the week saying they thought Scott Wright would start, but I think the team he's picked today is a team that's going to be more or less going to play next week. Don't think there'll be many changes if you look at the team and the squad he's got. So I think that's how Roof's in. I think when he scores 2 goals last week as well, confidence in it with a striker. So that's how I thought he would play him. But I understand, like you said, well, he has played him before for fitness, especially at that away game. But I always thought Roof would start the day. That was my honest opinion. I thought he wouldn't leave him out.
I think Roof is a wee bit tougher, is he not? I think Roof's just a wee bit tougher than Wright. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if he's quicker. Wright's probably quicker than him, but my goodness gracious, Wright's a good player.
Distance.
He's quite. Roof can pace. He's got good pace, but I think Roof's he's kind of ruthless as well, and he's seen the way he goes. He doesn't take any prisoners.
I think the big thing Roof's got is when he joins in, he's a finisher. But I don't know.
Correct, and he's got that in his bag. Absolutely, you see him sniffing about the boxes at corner kicks and free kicks. If that ball comes anywhere near him, he's lashing it out. No matter who's there, he's lashing it. I like Roof. I like Roof. I really do hope everything works for him at Rangers. I really do. Because some folk have some doubts about him, I've not checked
out. If Stato was here, I'd get him today. But I think goals per minute, I think Roof's top of the tree for us.
Must be.
Aye, he's got a pretty good strike rate, to be fair to him, but the only issue that we've had is obviously the injuries that he's been carrying, so, but certainly if you give him a chance, he's got a good strike rate of putting it away. But I think Alfie will be up for this game of day. I think he's got a wee point to prove now. He's got that monkey off his back for scoring against Celtic. I think the wee man will be flying, particularly when the comments has come out for Kennedy in the last 24 hours that he's saying they're still the best team in Scotland. So I think the motivation that our team's got to go out and proving a point is, Gerrard will be pinning the sort of statements up on the wall, I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. If I was Tav, I'd go out early in the turn, other side of the tunnel, get a bit of tinfoil rolled up in the building to bounce it off Alfie's head as he came out the tunnel after last week.
Yeah, brilliant.
But a good point about Morelos. But Morelos plays. They two will know how to handle him. If he plays, when he comes into the hole and he's passing and moving and then looking to get centre forward. South side then, Andy.
I can see. We're all looking forward to seeing Scott Wright, I think. But I just didn't see him starting the day. But Roof will be nipping about round about Alfie, and he'll be marking him tight, and he'll drag defenders all over the place. So Roof's more likely to sniff a chance out, I thought, than Scott Wright. But he had a really good performance last week. But I'm just looking for us to start in the front foot. Like I said, first 5-10 minutes, get right into them, bang on it. And we'll murder them a day, We could give them a good doing. Hibs are inconsistent. We've got nothing to fear. They're good one week, seemingly, and then they're rotten. No, they're inconsistent. So we're undefeated. We're at home. So we should just get out, get right on the front foot, and I don't see a problem with it.
But they raise their game against us every single time. We see that every time we play them. They're way up for the game.
Bridge, every team does it against us every week.
I think Hibs do it more than anyone, seriously. And it doesn't matter. But no, I'm not trying to take anything away what you said. I just said they lift their game really remarkably well.
I still don't see a problem with Bridge. I really don't.
I don't see a problem either. 1-0 for me is fine. I'll take that, and 4-0 if possible.
Andy, and you come, mate?
Yeah, I think I fancy Morelos to score it again today, right enough. He looks in a really good place as Morelos at the minute. He's small and he's actually speaking English as well now, so he not that I didn't think he couldn't for a long while back there, right? I think he's in a good place. I've got a theory, like they're signing all these guys up, Tavernier and all them.
What did you say? You've got a theory?
Aye. That's good for me, innit?
I thought he was on the show with you already.
No, I've got a thing, that they're going to offer Morelos a contract on it. They said, we're getting to the Champions League, he'll stay. And if not, they'll honour him if a big enough bid comes in. If we jump back into the Euro League, I've just got a funny feeling that Morelos is going to sign here. I don't know what's telling me that right enough, but the fact that they're signing them all up and they seem in a good place, there's something ticking there. This might just happen here, But we'll see. But yeah, as far as playing today, I think he'll do the business to get on with that Porteous again right enough. And even if that big animal wants to come and have a go at him, it could create space for Ruth to get in behind them anyway if they're jostling each other all day long anyway. So yeah, bring it on. Let's see.
Okay.
Well, this is good.
All right, cheers, mate. He started early today, isn't he? You can tell, can you?
2 minutes past 11:30. 2 minutes. Aye.
Is that a theory or a theory he was talking about?
I thought he was talking to you when he said theory.
Oh, here we go. Let's kill Andy time right enough. Give me another couple of boxes and you can say what you want. I won't go in.
I want to put a grand on 4-0, but if it doesn't win, tell your son-in-law it doesn't matter, right?
Right, okay, no. Deary me. Love it.
Right, how do you see it going, Alec?
I think it could be a tight game. I think 2-3-0. I can see Hibs coming out just to try and make it a battle. But if we match fire by fire, and with Southside, if we start the way we did against Cove, starting the front foot, shut them down, put them under pressure high up the park, win the ball high up the park, I don't think they'll be able to handle us. It's all about us. We set the tempo. We Davis is the brains of the team, as you said. If we start good, we win.
I know that JFK was saying that we've been consistent about playing our best team last week, and we've maybe played our best team this week, but we've hardly played in the last month. So you've got to get people ticking over. It's quite a difficult tightrope we've been walking. Southside.
Aye, it feels like ages, doesn't it? Because we won the league to now and we're playing another league game. But aye, it's getting minutes and legs, isn't it? And that's what he sort of tried today, even with Defoe playing last week, and then he's not in the squad this week. So I'd like to see him, if we can get a few goals up early and we're dominating the game, I'd like to see him get some changes on and get some players off in the view to next week. That's the way I see it. Hang me, but aye, the more players that get minutes, the better going forward. At the end of the season, also with the cup ties coming up.
Aye, you think about it, we won the league on the 7th of March. 7th of March.
No.
Rich man.
7th of March, yeah. Long time ago, innit? Bloody long time ago.
We played one league game.
It's 5 weeks away. 5 weeks ago that was.
Oh, mate.
You're talking about the television news, both BBC and STV. My God Almighty, there's only one team that they're talking about, and that's Celtic. Forgive me, but that's what they're doing. And I've got to talk about Hearts winning the championship night. That's it. Rangers don't even get mentioned, and yet they're sitting there, 20 points in the bag. Well, not now because they won yesterday, so it's 17 points clear. So I can't believe them. It's a shame. It's a shame Rangers are getting nothing, absolutely nothing from press and television. Nothing.
Depends what press and television you read, Bridge.
Well,
be selective.
I get what's been served to me, As simple as that.
Oh, Ox, does that make Terry Monroe back on that they won yesterday?
No according to Nigel Farage.
Terry Monroe, that was quite good, that one.
You think? It just shows you what people will do for money, yeah? You know what that's like, Southside.
No, for a long time. Just looking forward to the day, mate. It's good to see us back at Ibrox in it in a real game instead of last week. We've been Cove, no. It's a good game to get us up for before next week. So
one league game in 5 weeks. It's just Scottish football. I know this season's elongated. I know it's different, but we don't seem to get anything right. There we go. The splits just started. The team in 7's get more points than the team in 6. The team in 6 could end up about 9th or 10th in the league if the results go against them. Mental. But that's just my thoughts. Andy, remember the game starts at 3 o'clock.
You're totally right there. It's the basket case of Scottish football, isn't it? I mean, I laughed at that Farage one right enough because it always makes me laugh when they come out and say, we were duped. We were duped. Aye, all right, of course you were. Aye, it's just like you say, they take it for the money. But yeah, I mean, I think we should scrap this, split and all that right enough. It's how you do it, isn't it? That's the problem,
Scrap it?
Well, yeah. But there again, you talk about meaningless games and all that, didn't they? Back in the day and all that. I mean, I used to like the old 18 team league. They started with the League Cup sections, but the League Cup don't have the value that I had there back in the day. So, there would be looking. Then it would be if you didn't have as many games as what you've got now, you would have that problem as well. So, it's a weird way that, like you say. I seen that yesterday. That they get more points out of the top 6. Unbelievable. Couldn't make it up, could you? That's just
right, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the afternoon. We're going to go and get ready for the ball game. Thanks to yourself, Andy.
No problem.
Thanks to Alec, Southside, and of course Cal for Southend for joining us. Bridgeman.
What can I say? I'm so looking forward to this. I'm on tenterhooks, as I say. Tenterhooks. I'm so looking forward to it. I see that Craig Moore's on the on the Rangers TV along with Alan Hutton. So nice to see that boy again. Could play for us. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, everyone is, go out there and hammer the Hibs today, please. Go and do it. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle. Take it away, old school boy.
I sailed the wild Atlantic, across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 40s roar. I've climbed the Indian Ocean and I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland more than all the rest to me. It's the blue sea of my rock. It's the greenest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue sea of my rock. And it's not on the really just clear green. No more I'll sail the seven seas. No